Welcome to Strike Pro. In this video, we're going to learn how to configure payouts and enter scores. So let's get started. We're on the main and tournament dashboard. And in order to configure the payouts and take a look at what's auto-calculated from the app, go ahead and click on the View Payouts button here. If you take a look, this configure payouts, this is the main tournament here. We've got three toggles. You've got the main tournament, optional divisions, and side action. If you look at the main tournament format, based on the ratio that's set in the tournament, we've got 9 places being paid here, okay? And you'll see that we go 384.38, 224.22, etc. By clicking this manual mode button, we're already in the manual mode, but this would normally just be, just say manual. If you would click on it, it would open up all these fields. So you'll be able to set these values however you see if you want to set your own values here by default. You can do this for also the optional divisions. So in this particular optional divisions window, if I was to click on, let's say you get the projected payout of 186 here for first place, and that's based on this fixed first place distribution setting. You'll see at first percentage, 30% of the prize fund is going to first place automatically, and then it steps down from there. So let's say we don't like this and we want to override it. We'll just go ahead and click this manual override. And let's just say we're going to make this top heavy. So we'll only pay $50. And then at the top here, we'll go ahead and do, let's see, 257.89. Okay. Now we're top heavy, but as you can see here, we are balanced. We get the allocated prize pool of 620, and we have balanced this so that all the funds are allocated. Now, this prize pool is after the director fees, lineage, anything like that's already taken out. So you're good to go there. All right, and you can update any of these optional divisions as well. These are the auto-calculate prize funds, as I mentioned. But we're going to leave the rest of these alone, let them be. And then side action as well. You can do this here also for the eliminator. And then for the high games, it's auto-calculated evenly distributed across all games. And if you have high series enabled, it'll add the 5th in this particular case because it's 4 games plus series. So we're paying $39 per game and $39 for high series. Let's go ahead and click Update Configuration here. This will just save all of the settings and changes we've made. You can go ahead and collapse this for an easier view. All right, let's go ahead and enter scores. So now we're back on the Enter Scores page, and we've got the list of all the bowlers. There's a few different ways you can enter scores. You can do a manual entry. This works both in desktop and mobile. Mobile view will have the lane by lane. You can filter by lane here, or you can search by bowler. So if I want to search by lane, let's say 15, I can type in the lane 15 and it'll show you all the bowlers on lane 15. You can enter the scores for those bowlers. So I want to search specifically for someone. You can just enter the last name or first name. As you can see, we've got Alexander Brown, Oliver Brown. You can enter their scores there. Another way you can enter scores is through the import feature. So what you can do is do an export first. All right, so I've opened up the CSV file that we downloaded. And as you can see here, we've got a list of all the bowlers. We've got the entry ID, which is related to the entry and the bowler that's in that particular tournament. As I've mentioned in previous videos, you don't ever want to touch this because it is a direct reference to this bowler in that particular tournament. You'll see all the bowler names here in one column. You'll see the lane numbers that they're assigned to for the tournament. And then I've already added scores for all the bowlers here. So let's go ahead and import these scores. Okay, we're back on the Enter Scores page. And in order to import the scores, you go ahead and click this Import CSV button. And then you want to go ahead and choose the file that you had entered the scores into. In this case, it's just My First Tournament Scores Game 1. I already have all the other scores built out just for purpose of the demonstration, but we're just going to enter this Game 1 file. So we'll choose that file and we'll click Open. Actually, before I do that, I did want to show you one thing. As you can see, we have scores already entered here that we've manually entered. So something to pay attention to for Alexander Brown, Mateo Miller, and Isabella Gonzalez. Okay. If you notice, when I clicked on import scores, we now brought this window that says confirm score changes. And I mentioned just a minute ago where we had manual scores entered for Alexander Brown, Mateo Miller, and Isabella Gonzalez. What this is really saying is that if you had enter scored previously and you're trying to import scores that are different from what's already there, it's going to give you a warning and ask you if you really want to complete that. In this case, we're going to say yes. So we had entered 225 manually into the as a manual entry, but we're importing a score of 212 for game 1 for Alexander. We're just going to say yes to all these scores and import them. So let's do that now. Okay. As you can see, we've got all the scores that are entered for all the bowlers through the import. The next thing all you need to do is go ahead and save the scores. And what this will do is save the scores to the database. It'll also sync the brackets that you've generated as well. So in order to enter scores for the tournament, you would just repeat this process for games 2, 3, and 4. I'll go ahead and do that. And then we'll go ahead and move on to the next video where we'll talk about standings and then payouts.